Right folks, welcome to this exciting video. Once again we're here on the island of Islay and we're having our summer holiday out here, and we've come to the famous Lagavulin Distillery, but unfortunately it's closed because of COVID just now folks. But that's okay, because there's actually an ancient historical wonder here down at the coast, and we're about to take this little coastal path down and have a look. There's actually an abandoned castle right on the pinnacle of land. There's like a rocky outcrop with some castle ruins, so we're about to go and have a look at that. But I just thought I would just show you the front of the Lagavulin Distillery. If you ever see those bottles in the shops folks, this is actually where it all comes from, every bit of it. It's quite cool. Look at this folks, Lagavulin. Look at this big old stone chimney here, really impressive. It's quite a place, and look, here's this castle ruins out on this pinnacle of land. Wow, I'm not even sure if this is the right path we've come in hindsight. It looks like there's like a little pier and stuff between us. Look at this folks, up there at the top of the hill, there's actually an old bell on the rocks, and we're just theorising that might have been they rung that to warn people of the rocks and the storms. But another thing it might have been, maybe it was something to do with the distillery. If the people lived nearby here who work here, maybe they rung the bell at crucial times for them to come to work or to go home. But who knows folks. We're going round the other side of the distillery to try and get down to that abandoned castle. So this distillery at Lagavulin here has been making whisky since 1816. So this is one of the oldest distilleries here on the island of Islay, and it's one of the most popular. Look at this folks, we're now at the other side of the Lagavulin Distillery, and we can see the big, well I don't know if you can see it here, this big black letters on the white wall. That's what all the distilleries do around here to like advertise who they are, to passing like boats and ships and stuff like that. And this is a cool angle of the Lagavulin writing. But the cool historical wonder we're about to see is this ancient castle here, perched on the edge of these rocks. The weather out here is just perfect, like there's hardly any wind, the sun's shining, and just look at these scenes folks. We're literally walking about here, and it's like walking about in a picture from a Scottish calendar folks. It's truly stunning. So yeah, let's go and have a look at this castle. It looks like there's been some different layers to the castle at different heights, so it's quite an interesting spot. And we'll always love exploring new history on this channel folks. This is crazy, it's like they've actually built the castle on this pinnacle of land. It's like a wild pinnacle of land. So here's the first bit of this castle building folks, right at the edge of the water. This whole area, from a distance, looks like a rock face. But look, once you're up close you realise this has all been built manually. This is all a built wall here. Look at the way the bricks and stuff has all been built together with the mortar, and then look at the mortar they've used. It's like very much of the area that it's in. They've probably just used supplies from what's been lying around. Let's go down and have a look at the top side of this place. So cool exploring a new bit of history like this folks. If I've never been there before, I just love like the first explore of somewhere. Like everything I see here is new. And there's some cool features I'm starting to notice, like a little stone arch and stuff. And that wall we just saw must have been like a kind of perimeter wall that they had built right on the edge of the cliff. And then inside here, this must have been within the grounds of the castle, because you can see these two squares cut out here, which I'm guessing was like some sort of room. And then look at this might have been where like ships or something came in. It almost looks like this has been the main gate into the castle. See, the thing with castles like this right on the edge of the sea, maybe at one time the land had gone a wee bit further out, and like over the years it gets eroded away until eventually Like even the foundations of the castle can end up getting eroded away. Let's jump down here actually and we'll have a look. So these two massive pillars here look like this must have been maybe one of the entrances into the castle. And it looks like it's been a massive, massive structure in its day. This was probably the side like defended from the sea. And like, yeah, it's hard just to see what we're dealing with here. There's like different levels of wall. I'll show you what I mean. We'll get a bit closer here. But you can see how the two flat ends of the wall here must have been like an entrance of some sort at one time. And then, oh look, this is a strange bit, folks. Is this an old fireplace? That's the chimney. And then look at this down here. Has this been the top of a fireplace? That's what it looks like to me. Look at that. You would have been throwing the sticks in there. So I wonder if, like, I'm not even sure what we're dealing with here. If this has been a room at one time. It's history which is so long ago. Literally, the weather and the sea's just been battering it. The strong winds. Look at this, there's more stonework bits up here. We'll go and have a look. Oh, whoa, it's a crazy wild coast out here. Look at this. These must be some sort of markers for ships here. What a place, folks. This is real adventures. Always documenting new historical areas. And I'll start off by having a look at this. Like, what has this been? What bit of the castle has this been? Oh look, there's another one of those, what I thought was like a chimney kind of bit. There's another one here with like a lintel kind of bit. Oh, I look at the way that this has all been built at each side. And then so is that. And it was maybe to stop like invading forces. Oh look at that, folks. That hole goes way in. Quite far. And then look, we're in the middle of this castle. Wow. Oh, I'll get a photograph from here. This is incredible. Scenes like this, folks, it just, I don't know what the word is, it's epic. Truly epic scenes. When you look over a scene like that in front of us, standing in an ancient historical wonder like this, it's like, it's the combination of all the special things of Scotland. Natural beauty and ancient history. And it's amazing that the walls are still standing so strong. You can see they've used little stones and biggins and some sort of mortar. It looks like there's a lot of, potentially like a lot of seashells or lime or something in their mortar. Whoa. I think this is the Atlantic Ocean out here, which is something you don't see on my channel too often, folks. But yeah, here it is. We do document it now and again. And then look, let's go up into these, what must have been one of the main gates, I think. Wow. I'm going to go and have a look at this stone arch that we saw up here. When I first arrived, I noticed there was like a little stone arch. And I'm curious to see like exactly where it goes. Yeah, so I think this would have been the outer wall. And like right now, I think like we would have been standing in the castle. And the castle would have gone around us. Maybe the stone like nearer the land has been taken for like newer builds and stuff. More recent builds. I'm just really wanting to see out this arch. Let's go, folks. We're climbing up here to get the footage. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity here. So I'm going for it. And look at this. Ancient stone arch right here. Wow. And what a view over to Lagavulin from here. So I'm going to duck under and see what's under this stone arch. But I must say, if anyone... it's got hit in the face with that bush. I must say, if anyone comes here, be really careful, because literally we're on top of a cliff right now. Look at this, folks. That's where I was standing a minute ago down there. And now look, we're away to step over here. once again, I have to say, if anyone comes here, like, be super careful, because this is a proper steep cliff. And then look, there's more up here. Wow, see the way the ground is? It's almost like hollowed out. What a place. Let's go up and have a look. See, even all this is built. I'm going to go with the fact that it is a castle. Just with what the old historical like maps and stuff say. Oh, I can see it's been repaired here, and there's actually a metal bit there holding it up. I'm being super careful here, folks. You can actually see land on the horizon right around. Little islands and little bits of land. It's so interesting, folks. Wow. Like, this castle will date back like 1500s or older. Real ancient history, folks. Oh aye, look at this. This might have been like the living quarters or something. Oh aye. My shadow's at a poor angle today, folks, but we're just trying to get the footage. Look at this here. There's like a little bit. I wonder if that's been like a defensive firing position there, or a lookout position, or something along those lines. And look at this, we're right on the edge of the cliff, literally. Wow. Atlantic Ocean out there, folks. Yeah, look, these are all like, there must have been windows and stuff looking out. You can imagine the people staying in here, like when it was a proper castle. Like, what was it like? What were the people like back then? Looks like there's been an even bigger, like a higher window up there, so there's been like a second story to the building. And let's have a peek out here. Whoa! Yeah, look, this gives us an aspect here of what we're dealing with. It's not advised to probably come out here and like lean over this cliff, but we're just basically getting the footage, folks. So that's what we do here on this channel. And like, look how thick these castle walls have been. That'll be so if any like ships came up firing cannons and stuff trying to attack, like it would have taken them ages to burst through the walls. That's actually a thing. Maybe some of these defensive slots in the wall actually had cannons or something firing out of them. Look, you can see the little stones that it's made of here. Whoa, look, we're right on the cliff again. Right on the corner. The castle's literally like built on the corner of the cliff, and look, they've like built down there. And imagine the builder building that. He was clanging onto that cliff. Maybe held from a rope further up or something. Oh, we'll back my way back out here. If you're ever at the coast, folks, it is important to always stay safe and be very careful. Only ever explore within your own means. And then look, there's been something here, maybe a stair at one time, because you can see it's a 90-degree cutout, and all this bit here is like falling away down the cliff. And look down there, I can see AKR, the channel historian. Wow. I'm just staying safe, folks. I'm literally still like 3 foot from the edge because I don't trust it could subside. And probably in the winter you can maybe see more here. There's literally like a carpet of nettles here. Stinging, Scottish stingers. I think between thistles and nettles, like, Scotland's got some of the most stinging plants, like. But yeah, it's hard to see the different layers of history and what's been here, because it looks like some bits of the wall has maybe sheared off some of the clad, and that's what could be doing here. But then there's holes and stuff, and like, I'm not sure if there was like stairways leading round and twisting and turning, and you never know, folks. I'm going to try and peek over here. Oh, you can see all the stonework there. It's built. They've done a lot of work. And this is like one of my favourite views of Lagavulin. It's the first time I've seen this view today, and I just love it. The Isle of Islay here, folks. Just look at it from here. I'll just do a 360 turn around here and give you a true aspect of what I'm seeing. The beauty of a spot like this doesn't really come out on the camera. Even though it looks amazing on the camera, it's like, it's even more amazing standing here. And just think like the history. Look, there's a wee bird sitting up there speaking to me. He's actually communicating with us, folks. Now, this is an extremely dangerous bit here. I thought when I climbed up it I might not have to climb down the same way, but it appears I do. Here, actually, I've just had an idea. Do you know what this could be, AKR? I looked at this for the bottom. Here's AKR coming, that's why I'm saying AKR, folks. I think this has maybe been like a drawbridge. See this, folks? Because I've come down the steps here from the original castle, and then look at this. This would have stopped people from getting in a boat. Because look, the drawbridge would have folded down here. I'm starting to think that's what this has been. It makes sense. This is the way up, see? There's a wall and it's literally like right on the middle of the cliff. And then that stone arch has got like so much character. See, originally I think the castle had been right around that perimeter where the high ground is, all the way to the edge of the water. But I think maybe the keep has been up here. And there must have been like a drawbridge here, I think.
Yeah, you might be right.
I totally think, I think if they'd been getting attacked they would have retreated up to here.
Yeah.
And there's defensive holes up here for shooting out of. And they must have like hinged it down. Well, I climbed this way, but I wouldn't advise it. You'll just have to watch the BKR episode if you want to see it, folks. I climb on these dangerous places so you don't have to, folks. But look at that. There's actually that hole I looked at initially might be like a drain or something. You can just imagine the person coming here to try to attack and then they winch the drawbridge up. Maybe there would have been more grass and stuff there to stop them climbing around the edge like I did. But it's so interesting. So cool. What year do you suggest this may have been from, AKR?
I would think it's very old.
1500s?
Or before that, maybe.
Maybe before.
I'd reckon
The
before.
1500s, like.
Well, no, maybe around that time or before, but it certainly could easily be even longer before that.
Yeah. I wonder if that arch would have been the main place you would have walked in, and you would have come up here, and there would have been like that drawbridge over that massive void, and then you would have gone up. I've never visited an old castle which would have had a drawbridge.
No.
That's so cool. But that's like a real, that's like what you see in movies, folks, but this is like a real version of that. And see this view of Lagavulin from here, it's just stunning. With the sun setting behind it over there, it's like book your tickets to Islay, folks. You won't regret it, as long as you love the true beauty of Scotland and some real like ancient locations. Like Islay has got it all. And then also on top of that, the spirit of Scotland, folks. Get yourself a little glass of Lagavulin. So AKR was just saying some of these castles had like a courtyard area on the outside, and maybe that was where they stayed, up at the top of the hill. But like I think they've purely built all this defensive area here with a massive thick wall, and then the arch would have been the only area that you could get through to go up to where we saw the drawbridge at the top of there. So you would have probably come in that big gate and then you would have walked up there. But like that bit of wall there is so thick, it's probably like 6 or 7 foot before the wall behind it. But I think that was just to stop people being able to climb up easily to where everybody was like sleeping or like shooting out towards ships. A lot of attacks back then would have maybe been like cannon fire from boats and stuff. But really, like, that's such a long time ago. It's like when a place like this was built, if you had told them it would still be standing in 2021, they would just imagine like the world would probably be away by that time, which is so long ago. Anyway folks, the history is blowing my mind here. Once again here, the water's just crystal clear. There is a little bit more waves here because it's like open sea, but still crystal clear waters. And on the way here from Fairy Hill Cottage, we actually saw, that's the first 2 seals that I've seen since I've come to the island. We saw 2 seals. We've seen a lot of red deer. I've seen frogs and other types of beasts, but it's so cool to see seals, and they're big beasts like. Big seals. Yeah, look, there's almost like something over in this corner. See, often a castle like this would have had a well somewhere as well to get their water, and it would have been inside this courtyard area because obviously they needed their water even if they were under attack. Oh, here it is, folks, look at this. This is crazy, folks. Like, you can just imagine them coming here with like their old bucket or whatever. I was just coming down here to have a look because I noticed there's all this old metal bits, which is maybe, it's probably unlikely to be castle fittings because of the age of the castle. But I thought I'd definitely have to come down here and have a look. So like it's old bits of like hinges and stuff for buildings. Maybe from little sheds and stuff that's been around at one time. Whoa, look at all those slaters. That's crazy. We're literally in wildlife haven here though. Yeah, I think maybe this whole thing's been filled in because it was probably really deep at one time. And also back in the day they would have probably maybe had a frame with like a bucket and a winch system. But also they may have just had like a bucket on a rope to put down. But this must have been fresh water, I would think. Because obviously they wouldn't be drinking seawater. No, unless they boiled it. No, unless they boiled all the salt out of it or something back then. Look at this, folks. The well is literally at the other side of this wall. So I'm just going to go and have a look and see if there's any like evidence. It's cool, even since coming here it looked like it's just stones on top of a hill, and we've been able to uncover so much history and see so many little bits, and you can kind of piece each bit of the historical puzzle together and you get a true picture of how the castle was back in the day. Like, crazy. See, look, there's been kind of bits built in here, which is strange. And look, there's been like a, oh, that's maybe been an animal in there in that hole. But this bit here looks like it's been cut out. See, maybe at one time this wasn't all washed out where I'm standing now, and they might have even brought water from a spring up there somewhere down, and it would have fed into their well, and it would have just constantly been like spring water coming down from the mainland there. Well, the main island I should say, because yeah, it's down here somewhere, the well, just at the other side of here. Since we've come this far, folks, and we're on Islay, and I'll probably never be back here for years, if ever, I'm just wanting to just have a quick look over here at these rocks. It shows you the true like large amount of work that they went to back then to build all this. This whole piece of land here, it's all been terraformed and engineered. So interesting. And look, there's the window way up there that I was looking at. I can actually see there's little firing slits and stuff that I couldn't even get to when I was up there. And then look, there's like a little square bit there as well, which has been kind of cut out. It's hard to see. Down at the beach side here, just round from what I thought was the main entrance of this castle, look, there's this bit here which must have been maybe like a pedestrian way in, and there was stairs here maybe at one time. I'm thinking, well, I'm just pondering history once again, because they maybe made it narrow like this so it was easier to defend. Maybe something like that, folks. I just throw theories out often when I'm exploring places like this, but this bit here has certainly been designed for like a human-sized figure. So yeah, another interesting little corner of this place. What an incredible place, folks. The atmosphere and the location, and it's just stunning. And that's another bit of history ticked off the list. I'm going to document all the Scottish history that I can, and historical locations and interesting stuff like that. It's often so hard to get to a place like this, and like it helps people all over the world just see a little corner of Scotland that otherwise would have been unknown. And that's the special thing about YouTube and doing these little videos. Again, everybody could have something that they're into, and maybe it's just one or two videos that people enjoy, but we can share the history with whoever wants to see it, and that's such a special thing. But I'll end this little video here, folks. Thanks very much for watching. Join us very soon once again on our next adventure, which I'll probably start recording very soon, so tune in again soon to see where it'll go. I'll end this one here. Thanks very much for watching.